The first time I visited Prague, it was raining heavily. My friends and I were stuck in a hotel room, so we started telling stories to pass the time. Most were funny and entertaining. But then one of my friends changed the mood with a sad story. He told us about a boy from his neighborhood named Johnny. Johnny was shy and didn't go out much. He spent most of his time studying because he wanted to become a doctor. Everyone believed he had a bright future. On his 18th birthday, his friends decided to take him out. "Come on, Johnny, you've worked so hard. Just one night of fun won't hurt," they said. Johnny wasn't sure at first, but he finally agreed. They went to a bar, and Johnny admitted he had never tasted alcohol. His friends were surprised, but quickly ordered drinks for everyone. Just beer, nothing strong. At first, Johnny didn't like the taste, but after 2 beers, he started feeling relaxed. He laughed, made jokes, and enjoyed the night. "Thanks, guys. I really needed this," he said. He went home late, feeling happy. He lay on his bed, watching the ceiling spin, and smiled. The next morning, Johnny was found dead. When Johnny's mother entered his room, she felt a pain only a mother can understand, the pain of losing her child. Sometime during the night, Johnny had vomited because he was drunk. Since he was lying on his back, he choked on it and died before sunrise. Our group went completely silent. How do you even respond to a story like that? It was heartbreaking and terrifying at the same time. But what shocked me the most was the last thing he said. "For months, I've been looking for the guys who got him drunk, but I never found them. If I had, I would have killed them for what they did to Johnny." Wait, kill them? The guy telling the story was known for exaggerating, so I wasn't sure how much of it was true. But blaming Johnny's friends didn't sit right with me, so I asked, "Me? What do you mean you would kill them? How is it their fault when Johnny was alone? They forced him to go out and drink. They are responsible for his death." That makes no sense. Johnny wasn't a helpless child. His friends invited him, and he agreed. He made a choice. If you invite me to go out tonight and I get drunk and fall off a bridge, would that make you my murderer? I wasn't trying to ignore the pain of what happened. I understand that when something tragic occurs, people search for someone to blame. The anger has to go somewhere. Some blame the parents, some blame alcohol, some even blame Johnny himself. But in the end, blaming won't change anything. Blaming Johnny's friends for something all friends do didn't make sense to me. But to my surprise, the rest of the group disagreed. They didn't care that they had done the same thing many times. They didn't care that they had also been Johnny's friends in similar situations. They didn't care that this could have happened to anyone. All they wanted was to put the blame on someone else. I see this pattern in many people: family, friends, romantic partners, coworkers, and even strangers. And I've realized that the more people blame others, the more unhappy they become. Of course, everyone does this sometimes. But there are 2 types of thinking that truly limit how you see the world and can even turn you into a toxic person. I'm sure you'll recognize yourself or someone you know in at least one of them. Belief 1. You assume things always happen to you and that you have no influence over them. If you believe that nothing in your life is in your control, you'll feel powerless. People like this think problems can't be solved and good things only happen by chance. Sometimes they get lucky, but most of the time, life feels unfair to them. They assume successful people are just lucky. They don't believe hard work matters, so they put in minimal effort. Then they complain about their mediocre results, without realizing they're a direct result of their own choices. It's like the girl from college who worked all the time but was always broke. She lived with her parents, who covered her expenses, yet she never had money. When I asked why she couldn't afford a $3 movie ticket, she admitted she spent her whole paycheck on shoes. Then she'd complain about being underpaid, not seeing the irony. Or the guy who falls in love too fast and ignores obvious red flags. He stays with a partner who mistreats him, blames him unfairly, and crosses his boundaries. When the relationship falls apart, he's shocked, saying, "I don't know how they changed overnight." People who never take responsibility for their actions keep repeating the same mistakes and believe they're destined for a bad life. Of course, some things in life truly are random, and you can't control everything. But most of the time, the results you get are shaped by the choices you make. whether you realize it or not. Let me explain with real examples. In the last 3 months, I've gone through a tough breakup while living in a foreign country, cried on an airplane because of it, had 2 motorbike accidents in Thailand and Bali, found out someone close to me has cancer, lost 8 kilograms due to stress. I could have said, none of this is my fault. I could have blamed my ex, saying she turned evil, which made me stressed and lose weight. I could have blamed her for the breakup and my emotional breakdown on the plane. I could have blamed bad drivers for my crashes. I could have said the cancer came out of nowhere. But none of that would be true. The breakup happened because I didn't set clear boundaries. I lost weight because I neglected my mental and physical health. The crashes happened because I didn't adjust to local driving habits. And the cancer wasn't random, it was ignored symptoms for over a year. While some things in life are truly out of our control, most bad luck comes from our own decisions. You chose that relationship. You chose how to spend your money. You chose to quit school. You chose that job. You chose to get drunk. Taking responsibility isn't about blaming yourself. It's about learning from your choices and making better ones. Sometimes bad things happen because of other people. But even when someone else is to blame, you are responsible for how you handle it. If someone treats you unfairly, it's up to you to stand up for yourself, accept it, or walk away. If someone hurts you, it's your responsibility to heal and seek help. If life throws unexpected challenges at you, you have to decide how to move forward. Mark Manson explains this well. If you wake up to find a newborn baby on your doorstep, it's not your fault the baby is there, but it's now your responsibility to decide what to do. Focusing on blame won't change anything. Taking responsibility will. Belief 2. You're responsible for good things in your life, but not for the bad ones. Most people think this way to some extent. I struggled with it for a long time. But now, when I see it, it frustrates me. These people love to take credit when things go well. Oh, you got into a great school? Oh, you won an award? Oh, you found a great partner? Their answer is always, yes, I did it all by myself. But when things go wrong, they completely change their attitude. If a spoiled rich kid drives drunk, crashes his car, and injures a couple, he won't take responsibility. He'll blame the couple for walking in the dark, his friends for letting him drink, or his girlfriend for not stopping him. A girl who gets promoted will say it's because of her hard work. But if another girl gets promoted, she will say the system is unfair. A guy who boasts about how great he is with women will take full credit when he hooks up with someone. But if he gets rejected, he'll say, she's just a stuck-up girl who only cares about money and fancy cars. I had a friend who always bragged about working hard to get a good job. But in reality, he wasted years smoking weed until his mom helped him get hired. When his music career didn't take off, he didn't blame himself. Instead, he said, people are stupid and don't appreciate real music. This mindset is attractive because it fits perfectly with today's social media culture. If you look at anyone's Instagram profile, even mine, you'll only see the best moments: travel, parties, success. By looking at Instagram, you might think everyone is living an exciting life while you're stuck in a boring job, feeling miserable. It's the same with responsibility. People only want credit for the good things in their life. While traveling, I've met many people who work online: bloggers, influencers, and even guys selling MLM schemes. They all talk about how to achieve success, make money, and grow a following. But they never talk about failures or struggles. Most of these people aren't really what they seem. They don't have a big following or make much money. But when you ask them why, they always have an excuse. Nobody cares about photography anymore. You can only get followers if you post selfies in bikinis. I'm teaching people how to make money, but I'm not making any myself because people just don't get how my product works. My writing is good, it's just that no one reads anymore. Everyone's into podcasts and videos now. Same old excuses: poor me, the world's unfair. But when they start getting followers or making money, they don't say it's because people are smart. They claim it's because they're geniuses who worked hard and hustled to get there. How to stop being a shitty human and take responsibility for your life. If you're watching this and thinking, that sounds like how I handle problems, I hope it's followed by, I don't want to be like that anymore. And if it's not, well, keep watching. Trust me, your life and the world will get way better if you stop blaming others for your problems. What else are you gonna do? Be like Ross from Friends? Anyway, I've made it simple. Going from that person who blames others to someone who gets things done only takes 3 steps. Step 1. Accept responsibility for your own actions by admitting mistakes. The first step in taking responsibility is being able to admit when you mess up. It could be something you did on purpose, like speeding and getting a ticket, or something you didn't mean to do, like tripping and dropping a glass. If something bad happens because of your actions, own up to it. If it didn't affect anyone else, just tell yourself, I made a mistake. If it did affect others, apologize and say sorry. When you make a bad choice, whatever happens after that is your responsibility. Step 2. Accept responsibility for your own emotions by not blaming others. Often, you'll find yourself affected by what others do. It's easy to blame them, but resist that urge. When you end up in a tough situation because of someone else's actions, ask yourself these questions. 1. What can I do now? Whatever happened, happened. Focus on what you can do next, whether it's fixing the problem, managing the damage, or handling the outcome the best way you can. 2. What could I have done to avoid this? Think about what you can learn from the situation so you don't end up in the same place again. 3. What if this is a gift? Consider how this situation could actually help you grow or move forward in a better direction. The key is remembering that your emotions, whether you're sad, angry, or hurt, are your responsibility. Someone else might have caused them, but it's up to you to deal with them in a healthy way. When someone else makes a bad decision that affects you, the result might not be your fault, but it is still your responsibility to handle it. Step 3. Don't take responsibility for other people's actions and emotions. This step might surprise you, but it's just as important as the other two. In fact, ignoring this step is often the cause of many problems in life. Just as other people are not responsible for your emotions, you are not responsible for theirs. Does this mean you should be a cold, heartless person? Absolutely not. It just means that you shouldn't let others place the blame for their feelings on you. Here are some examples. Your partner feels betrayed because you hang out with friends. They think you're cheating and want constant reassurance, even though you've done nothing wrong. Your mom feels you don't care because you can't pick her up at a certain time due to work. Your friend feels disrespected because you said no to a favor you couldn't do. In these cases, people may try to guilt trip you and make you feel bad, even though you're not at fault. That's why it's so important to hold others to the same standard that you hold yourself. When someone makes a bad decision that doesn't affect you, it's not your fault or responsibility. Stand firm against anyone who tries to make you feel guilty without reason. While the idea of responsibility may seem overwhelming, especially in your teens and 20s, it should never be optional. Taking responsibility for your own life not only reduces negativity and stress, but also makes you a better person. Instead of complaining about how everyone is messing with you, focus on the solution. Things happen, but what can I do about it? If my friends had this mindset, they wouldn't have blamed Johnny's death on his friends. It's no surprise that I ended my relationship with them. They kept blaming others for their problems, which is why they didn't accomplish much. Life is always going to throw unexpected challenges at you. How you handle them defines who you are. Will you be ready to face whatever comes your way, or will you beg for mercy? The choice is yours.